Alright, grüße! Welcome back to the channel. Max Tornow here. In this video, we're in Zurich, and I want to talk about positivity, consistency, and perseverance in entrepreneurship. So if you're just new to getting started with your own business, or you're thinking about the idea, but it's difficult to stay positive, or you have started already, right, and it's difficult to stay consistent and just plow through, then this video is for you. Because what we did here is we actually met with two of my one-on-one VIP clients here, and we had a little bit of a chat, you know, talk about all kinds of things, but every now and then the topic of positivity, perseverance, and also how to stay away from negativity kind of surfaced. And I'm going to show you these clips now, and I really want you to dive deeper onto this. This is a little bit more of a heavy mindset driven, ranty type of video. But if you're a person who has trouble staying positive, staying consistent, staying on track with their goals, then this video is for you. I'm very excited to be sharing this with you. Let's get started.
Have you ever wondered whether there's more to life than a boring dead-end 9-to-5 job? Have you ever dreamed about breaking free, traveling the world, making good money, and just enjoying life? No more office dress code, no morning commute, no boss. This channel is for you. So here's to your freedom.
So I think because you're cynical, you're a person who can push very hard, much more. But at the same time, at the level where you are right now, it's easy for you to get frustrated. And that is something you gotta get rid of. Because here's the thing, entrepreneurship is this very beautiful thing because you have the freedom and everything's epic, but it has this very ugly side as well. Because there's always gonna be issues that you have to deal with. Some haters posting about you. Some sales call you're gonna get on, the guy says yes, buys, and then doesn't buy it, and then you reach out to him again and they're like, oh, I decided I don't want to be in the program anymore. Then you have to deal with this. There's always you have to deal with.
Exactly.
There's always
next question actually, but yeah, continue please. Yeah.
So, you can do two things with this. The is always going to be there. No matter how amazing your business is, no matter how many testimonials you have, no matter how successful you are, there's always going to be you have to deal with. Now you can do two things with that. You can, number one, see it objectively as what it is. I gotta deal with, I'll deal with it and then it's done. Or number two, you dwell on it and you're constantly looping it in your brain, like, I'm sitting here enjoying my coffee, but so and so wrote a review about me. And if you don't learn to make that decision of saying, this is I gotta do and that is it,
you do it.
Exactly.
You don't think or depend on or anything. You just
deal with it and you move on.
Next step.
If you don't learn how to do that, entrepreneurship is gonna drag you down. And you have to be like, okay, this is now, but so what? Let me do it. You're still in this negative loop of like, this, I don't like it, this sucks. You gotta get rid of this negativity, see it as it is, and be positive and continue with it. That positivity is something that I've learned through game, just like you will have learned through the dating game, but you haven't yet adjusted it yet to the entrepreneur context.
Exactly.
And that is something you have to do.
And I'm very aware of this, by the way.
Good.
I already made the parallel.
Good. So stop it. Stop with it. Stop the cynicism, because it will f you over. Because you see how I was positive throughout the entire conversation. I'm like, you got this. You're gonna do this thing. It's gonna be great. Gets the foot in the door. I'm all positive. Sure, it's gonna be hard work, but I'm like, yeah, you got this. But you're like, you always have this bitterness that you sprinkle in.
Yeah, because that's where I'm at the moment. At the foot of the mountain.
So f***ing what? Yeah. So f***ing what?
Just explain.
So f***ing what? You're the fucking foot of the mountain.
Right, I'm aware of this. At least I'm aware of this. So that's the first step, right?
Next step is to execute upon it. You gotta practice this positivity all the time. You're sitting down, and when you get this feeling of, you tell yourself, let's crush it, let's f***ing go. That's where I'm most, and this is something that I've trained myself on, especially over the last year. There was a lot of shit happening in my professional life and my personal life that really hard. And that's where I'm like, all right, my new mindset is, at the bottom is where I'm most comfortable. Hello darkness, my old friend, like that. Literally like, back at it, motherfuckers. Because I've lost that. I had lost that. Last time I was at the bottom was in 2013 when I started as an instructor for my first dating company, where I had nothing, not a dollar to my name, no money. I was traveling the world unpaid for a full year. working my ass off, being sick because I was malnutrition the
Yeah, I
entire
remember the
time.
story,
Yeah. And back then I was like, fuck it, let all go out. It's just all out. All I could do is go up. And then I've built all these epic things. And then a lot of my private life happened. I had issues with my heart. I had arrhythmia developed and shit like that. And
Burnout and stuff, right?
burnout, and then a lot of happening in my business life. Then I'm like, no, resisting, because I had peaked into the beauty of it all, of where you could be with money when everything is working out well. But then around last year, it was all kind of going down. And then I remember Max, how it was when you started. You were at the bottom, just like you are right now. And that's where I started, instead of hunching over, metaphorically speaking, I started leaning back and say, welcome back to ground zero. That is where I thrive, motherfucker. This is the darkness. That is my old friend, it's back. Let's crush it. And I've done that, and I dug up the old Max, the old hustle or die Max. You know, evolve or die. Swim or go under Max, that kind of. And I did it. And I went back to the grind of just leaving everything behind, of not letting that cynicism get to me, and just being positive. And I climbed the back up, and now I'm more resilient than ever before. And now you have pandemic going on, you have riots and like that, and crisis and whatnot, and I'm like, bro, I've seen worse. You know, let's do it. Let's smile at the devil. Let's wink and just keep crushing. And that's what I love.
It's all in the head, man.
It's all in the head. And I'm like, well, cool, well, give me even more. If I get down on the bottom again, I'm like, yeah, hello darkness, my old friend, let's go. That's the beauty of it. That's how you become literally anti-fragile.
So yeah, that was the thing about the positivity, because that's something I wanted to tell you. That's also why I wanted to meet you, because you got pretty close right away after we worked very intensely on your goal. Remember that? And then you got so close, and just because you didn't hit the deadline, you got into this like self destructive almost behavior, into this where you said like, oh, I have to punish myself now, right? And you messaged me like, I'm so whack, gotta deal with my whackness now, right? And then you got into this like, and then you closed yourself off, and you're like, I gotta deal with my own whackness now. And I messaged you back, I'm like, no, don't do it, you know? And the important part is that's something that a lot of people do. That's something that I used to do as well, this like self-punishment. And the reason why that happens is because you're deriving your identity from your success. So you're probably also, when you're doing well, you're on fucking cloud nine. You're like, yeah, I'm the fucking greatest. I'm so amazing. And that's cool, you know, you want to be happy about that. But at the same time, you have to shut yourself off if things don't work well. You have to, again, like, and I said this earlier to a different client as well, see it objectively. When you're having your own business, and even when you're just getting started like you have to see failure for what it is, something objective, all right? I tried this, didn't work, right? And you're obviously in a good position because you have us as mentors. So you're like, hey guys, I tried this, didn't work, right? And we tell you what to adjust. Like, oh, adjust this, go on to this, right? So at least you don't have the whole wondering what it is that you did wrong type of thing, right? Like if you try it alone, you're like, I did this wrong. What is wrong? I don't know. Why didn't it work? At least you know why things don't work, right? Because we give the feedback. But then you have to get away from deriving your identity from these failures, because being an entrepreneur is, there's always failures that you do, even at our level, right? Even if you've done it before, even if you have mentors, entrepreneurship is such a complex thing with so many different influences. Like I couldn't close that client because of this, because of that. There's so many different things that it's never perfect, right? Because you work with people. It's exactly the same with my first business, the dating advice business. It's like every person that you talk to is different. You know, there's no perfect line or perfect thing to say because every person is different. The context is different. There's so many things that play along with it. So you're never gonna do things perfectly. And if you expect from yourself to always do things perfectly, and maybe even give yourself this ultimatum, if I don't do perfectly, I suck, I'm a useless piece of shit, then you're gonna have a hard time, because then you're constantly dragging your own confidence down, you're dragging your own self-identity down. Whereas someone who's more experienced in entrepreneurship, we make mistakes and we're like, all right, Now I know what doesn't work, right? I mean, dude, at our level, for example, I made a big mistake earlier this year. The mistake cost me probably around 1.5, if not even $2 million. That mistake. This was one mistake. This one marketing mistake. It's like, oh. And once we got this mistake, we're like, oh my God, it's so logical. Why did we not see this? We instantly changed it, but overall it cost us around 1.5, $2 million in opportunity cost. You know? So imagine I find this mistake, and it's already bad enough that it cost us this money in opportunity cost. Imagine I would find this mistake, and then on top of that, I would now self-punish myself with that, you know? At my level, I have team members, I have hundreds of clients, I have people that I'm personally close to, my family, that are reliant on me. And if I'm like sitting at home like, I'm a piece of shit, I'm so whack, which would keep me obviously from executing further, from fixing the mistake, I would create even more damage for myself, for my company, and for the people that are reliant on me, right? So you can't have that. You have to be clear cut there and say, this was a mistake. Objectively speaking, we now know this doesn't work. Let's move on, let's adjust, right? Let's move into the pain. This is it, painful, can't change it no more. You can't change the past, that this is the damage. You can learn from it and make sure you don't have that, you don't create that damage again anymore, you know? And that is what I did. And I feel like when you're building your own business, there's always times where everything is just going so well, where sales are coming in and you're just like, everything I touch turns to gold. And I've been in that situation many times, but these are always phases. You can never be there 100% of the time. There's always someone posting about you, someone talking, someone spreading lies about you, someone trying to screw you over, someone making issues, whether that is a partner or someone from your team or a client, there's always going to be some issues. And if you don't learn to see that as an objective thing, you're always going to suffer from that in life. You know what I mean? And once you learn that though, you're on vacation. You have a good time and some issues arise and you're just like, all right, these issues arise. But that doesn't mean that on my personal side, I can't enjoy this evening now with my friends or with my girlfriend or with my partner or whatever, right? Once you learn to just separate these two things, you're gonna have a really good time, because then you can be sharp with the decisions that you gotta make, and on the private level, you can enjoy your evening, you can enjoy your time, and you just have a good time. And that's what you gotta learn too. You have to stop with the self-punishment thing. Stop thinking just because something doesn't work doesn't mean you're whack. And just because you are whack doesn't mean you're a bad person, right? Remember, I've told you that on our phone call too. It's like, even if I give you feedback, it's always harsh feedback, because that's what we do. We always call people out, right? That's what you pay us for. But at the same time, we're hanging out here personally, you know? And maybe you're gonna make a next mistake tonight and I'll give you shit. I'm like, what the you know? On a personal level, we're always gonna be good. So it's never an issue. You have to stop with this self-punishment. Stop it. It's not bringing you any closer. Objective. You made a mistake, move on. Learn from it, move on. That's interesting. That's a very good point, because that's what we see oftentimes as well. I like working with complete beginners in this regard. Oftentimes we get people coming to us and they're like, look, we're making 20K a month, can you scale me to 100K? And I'm like, easy in the world. From this stage, easy in the world. I know exactly how to scale someone from 200K. Technically, I know the steps that they gotta take, but it's hard because their ego is involved. Because I'm like, okay, if you wanna make 200K, do this, this, and this. And they're like, yes, but that's not how it works, because we do it like this. And I'm like, yeah, I understand, but what got you here won't get you there. If you want to scale from 20 to 100K, you have to stop doing this, do this. And they're like, no, that's not how it works. And I'm like, that's exactly how it works. You pay me, you want me to know, you're paying me for my expertise. You want me to tell you how to get 100K, this is how you get 100K. So you have to first learn how to break people's egos down so you can build that tower up newly, you know? So, yeah, wonderful that you said that. It's difficult for people who are making some money to learn how to make more. And that's also why we give harsh feedback. Because we know if you give harsh feedback to someone, it breaks their ego down better. And once their ego gets broken down better, they can rebuild the things that they gotta rebuild up, right? If you're sweet talking someone who makes 20K and you wanna get them to 100K, they're never gonna get to 100K. They're gonna be best friends with you and they're gonna say, the program is great, I feel really good, but at the end of the day, they're not getting the result that they should. So I'd rather have people be like, Max is an asshole, Max is arrogant. Good. if at least I can get the results, that's all that matters, right? I can totally be fine with someone hating me, but they're getting results. It has always been like that, even in my first business. There was people like, Max, the program was so harsh, I did not enjoy a single bit of it, but thanks for all the results. And they're like, Max, I'm really happy that I don't have to hang out with you anymore, but thanks for the results. I'm like, that's all I needed to hear, buddy. GG, you know? It's kind of like being in the military. At the end, you always remember the great results and the cool stuff from it, but while you do it, you hate it. I remember when I was at the army in Austria, I hated it. It was physically tough, mentally tough, even though we were not at a hardcore base, but it was still pretty tough. And then as much as 2 months later, you reminisce all the funny parts, all the cool that you did, and you completely forget about the suffering that you did, you know? Kind of funny. Like we calculated all the time how many days we got left and stuff like that, you know? I told you the important thing that I wanted to tell you, which is that you have to stop with the self-punishment. And now also that you told me that it's also from your prior business experience that you've built a certain identity of, I should know this, I should get these results. Just because these results have been held off for a while, right? Doesn't mean that you're a bad person, doesn't mean that you're an idiot. And in fact, right after I told you that, when we got back to execution, instantly you got a first person on a call. Right? Instantly, what was it, like 24 hours later or 12 hours later, even something like that? You instantly got these results. Once you stop seeing it as this like personal issue that you have, and once you start seeing it as this objective issue, this is something I gotta fix, you instantly started getting results. You got the second call booked, and easy peasy, you know? That's how we roll. And now we're just gonna build upon that. And whenever you make a mistake again, who cares? You let us know, we adjust it, and we're back on track, you know? Because there's gonna be more mistakes. There's always gonna be a mistake. I make mistakes all the time. That's not the issue. The issue is if you don't learn from it, but if you have great mentors, you're gonna learn, and then you readjust, and that's it. And you just keep going, and then you get mentally sharper. You get spiritually more resilient, if you will. You can develop a thick as hell skin, where you're just like nothing bothers you anymore, not even in your real life as much. If your like girlfriend or your family's like nagging, like you're just like, yeah, you remain cool, you remain chill, you remain this go-getter type of personality that go gets the right done, that go gets what they want to do, they achieve it. And funny enough, all these people that are years later, they're always like, it's so amazing what you've achieved. It's so crazy what kind of personality you've become. You just always get things done, and And they almost make it sound like it's this lucky thing, like as if it's like in your DNA or some shit. But deep down inside, you yourself know, like, this is because I failed so much, and I've learned to not care, and I've learned to get back up, brush myself off, and keep executing. You become this mentally extremely tough, extremely resilient personality that just can't get pushed down. Whether that is some noise in your video, you just talk over it, you know? Whether that is some issue, you just talk over it. Whether there's going on behind you, you focus on the goal and just keep at it. The goddamn world can burn around you. You have your goal, you get shit done. And that's an amazing thing to see. These are world-class athletes. Michael Jordan, if you ever watched the documentary Last Dance, he has this. It's burning around him, people talking to him, his team is not winning, and he just gets the shit done. He gets done what it has to be done, and he wins. And that mental resilience is literally coming from failing over and over again, having great mentors so you can adjust, and not tearing yourself down, not giving yourself shit, and not just having your identity be dragged down if you fail, because failure is inevitable. All right, welcome back. Now, one more important thing. When you say you're ready to get started building your own freedom business, when you're ready to stay positive, to get that feedback from a mentor, to be working together with someone who is where you want to be, then you can book a free consulting call with me directly or with an expert from our team. There's a little description, link in the description box below. You click on that and you can book the free consulting call, right? So if you already have a skill and you want to learn how to monetize it, this call is for you. If you're already making some money with that skill, but you want to do it more consistently, that call is for you. But also, if you just like the idea of being free, but you have no idea how to get started or what it is that you could be offering people, and you feel a little lost, then that call is especially for you, because we can analyze your strengths, we can tell you what options fit well for you, we know the market by now, and we can tell you what exact steps that you can take from your specific situation right now in order to get started with your own freedom business as an online coach or as an online service provider. You do not need to have any prior business experience, right? You do not need to know what it is that you want to be doing exactly. We'll figure it out together with you on that call. So like I said, there's a link down in the description. You click that. Link brings you to a page. There's a little bit more information on there on the page if you want to read through that. And at the bottom of that page, there's a 2-minute application that you got to fill out, and then you can book the exact date and time where you want us to call you, right? Call is entirely for free. There's no hidden international costs whatsoever. It's just a thank you from me to you for the long-term support over the last couple of years, and it's obviously the greatest way that I can offer you. It's literally as easy as I can make it for you to take that step into becoming your own boss and finally get started with that sweet freedom of yours. All right, so if the link still works, it means we still have a spot open for you. Obviously, we can only do so many calls a day. So if you click that link and it brings you to a page, it means we still have a spot for you. So let's talk soon. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and bye-bye.
I had a wonderful call with a guy who now is a client of mine. I closed the full upfront for 2.5K. And I have to thank Robert, and yeah, I closed him. It was relatively easy. Guys, that's amazing.